In the next half hour of Business Live, your marriage registration could delay between now and the end of the year as activity at the Registrar General's Department grinds to a halt following a solidarity strike by staff of GCnet.
Not only Accra, I'm talking of Secondita Akrade, I'm talking of Tamale, I'm talking of Kumasi, I'm talking of Sunyani, and even our other services like industrial property rights, marriages, estates. So we're ground to a halt. We haven't taken any revenue since last week Friday.
Also, angry and frustrated customers of Men's Gold pour onto the streets of Takwa, saying the government has turned a deaf ear to their plight. Plus, migration towards a cash-light economy in Ghana may be realized from next year as Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement System expresses readiness to provide the required infrastructure support.
All the necessary systems needed to support any entity to only receive digitized payments, we do have them.
I'm Mr. Lai, and Business Live comes up in a bit. Now, if you intend getting married anytime soon, your marriage registration could be delayed. This is troubling. The Registrar General, JoyNews, is warning of a nationwide disruption in business registration if government does not, as a matter of urgency, intervene in the ongoing solidarity strike taken by workers of GCnet, which has led to a complete shutdown of all business registration departments across the country. Just today, we have seen empty chairs, stranded clients, and notices all confirming how serious the situation is. Joy Business is learning that the workers of GCnet were compelled to embark on the action in solidarity with hundreds of their colleagues laid off at the Tema port. In an interview with Joy Business, Madam Jemima says her outfit is helpless, saying it will only take government intervention.
They are the ones that manage our whole electronic system. So it's not only Accra, I'm talking of Secondita Akrade, I'm talking of Tamale, I'm talking of Kumasi, I'm talking of Sunyani, and even our other services like industrial property rights, marriages, estates. So we're ground to a halt. We haven't taken any revenue since last week Friday. Absolutely nothing. We can't hear, nothing is happening. And when you call, you're given assurances that it will come up. Nothing is up. We're not able to work. We've written to those in authority to inform them this is what is happening. But they are making every effort to try and get it up. But the workers are not around. They are threatening the few workers that wanted to assist. So nothing is happening. You are not even able to access that system to even provide registration services all across the country. That's what's happening. You know, people have contracts they have to sign. People have charges in relation to maybe loans they've collected from banks. They need charges registered before those loans or those letters of credit will go through, or all kinds of transactions that you need the company registration certificate, and we are not able to process it at all. We were registering as many as 200 companies a day. Our revenues were sometimes 300,000, 400,000, sometimes even 500,000 a day. But now, absolutely nothing.
Meanwhile, the National Labour Commission has directed the striking workers to call off the action immediately and appear before the Commission on Wednesday, October 14. The Ghana Union of Traders Association has expressed confidence in the move by the two regulatory agencies, Ghana Standards Authority and the Food and Drugs Authority, to merge the operations at the ports. The move will mean that both agencies will do a single inspection of goods for certification before clearing. Speaking on the development, President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Abeng, said this is another way of improving doing business at the ports.
We are very excited about this harmonization. This is an issue that we've been talking about for so many years. There were times that the institutions at the port numbered around 15, and then we complained, and these have been pruned down. And then for institutions like the Ghana Standards Authority and Food and Drugs Authority, clearly you see that there will be duplication of functions, overlap of functions and all that. And that's why we are very happy that now the understanding has come for them to be harmonized. And business trumps on ease of doing business, time of doing business, and cost of doing business. And this thing is going to address just that. It's going to make sure that time of doing business is controlled, and then ease is also there, because it means that we are not going to unnecessarily being delayed somewhere and all that, and that you go to a place, one-stop shop, and then you get your work done, and that will go a long way to stimulate growth into businesses. And we are very happy about this development. I have a great deal of confidence in the two CEOs. They are one of the dynamic CEOs coming together and harmonize their functions and all that. I don't have any doubt that is going to is not going to help us. It's going to help us. It's going to help us. Yeah.
Let's turn our attention now to the Western region, Takwa specifically, where hundreds of angry customers of defunct Men's Gold took to the streets. The parent group, Coalition of Aggrieved Customers of Men's Gold, are demonstrating against the government for turning a deaf ear to their concerns despite the repeated request for a bailout. Earlier reports had it that they were turned down by the police in the request to embark on this demonstration while the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, was on a studio tour of the Western region. National Chairman for the coalition, Isaac Nyaku, argues that the law is explicit on why the regulator owes them a responsibility. The country's quest to move towards a cashless economy could take off from next year. This is because the institution charged to lead the process, that is the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement System, responsible for providing the required infrastructure, says it is ready. This should mean that the basic systems needed to aid this migration are now in place. Speaking on PM Express Business Edition, Chief Executive of GIPS, Archie Hesse, said his outfit is also working to reduce the cost of using digital platforms to aid their use.
That remote payments became the order of the day, and when it comes to remote payments, we're talking about electronic payments, which is one of the key things that we have been driving for the past 12 or so years. So it gave us the opportunity for us to test, one, whether we do have the systems that are capable to withstand the pressure in terms of volume of usage, and also whether individuals were aware of it. So for us at GIPS, I would say that COVID gave us an opportunity to actually showcase that Ghana is really poised and ready for the cash light or cashless agenda. And when we're talking about cashless or cash light, basically what it is we are used to paying for our goods and services using cash. The alternative instrument is the electronic payments, which is deemed to be cheaper, not as costly, etc., etc. And these are the products and services that we've been putting up in this country. And when the COVID came, if you bear me just a little bit, you realize that we had a number of products and services when it comes to payments. We have modernized our check clearing system. I'm not sure about the deadlines, etc., but from GIP's point of view, all the necessary systems needed to support any entity to only receive digitized payments, we do have them.
Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has cast salt for the construction of a liquefied petroleum gas bottling refilling plant at Axim in the Western region. The construction of the plant as a unit of the cylinder recirculation module requires the installation of LPG storage tanks, offloading points for LPG mobile trucks, maintenance building for testing of cylinders for both empty and filled cylinder bottles.
Bottling plant a new policy our government did say around Hachuho, big gas accident. A few years ago, in an accident, the gas station, after that, the government said, less risky way of distributing gas into the heavy concept of the gas bottling plants. MPA, the Ministry of Energy, paper, cabinet, approving a cabinet, gas bottling plant.
Meanwhile, the General Manager of Ghana Gas, Robert Asma, explains the project, when completed, will create direct and indirect jobs for the citizenry, especially the local folks.
The construction of the LPG bottling plant as a unit of the cylinder recirculation model requires an installation of an LPG storage tank or tanks, offloading point for LPG mobile trucks, maintenance building for testing of cylinders, and storage facilities for both filled and empty cylinder bottles. In addition, there will be an installation of firewater tanks, loading bay and parking lots for the LPG bullet trucks. There will also be an installation of automatic cylinder filling hall, which is designed to have an installed capacity of filling 2,400 cylinders per day. The project, when completed, is expected to create direct and indirect jobs.
The Youth Sector Engagement Group, YSEG, has launched the Business Solutions for Young Entrepreneurs Business Recovery and Resilience Support for Young Entrepreneurs affected by the novel coronavirus. The 3-month program is expected to be implemented in partnership with Africa Aurora Business Network, Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs and Young Professionals in Agricultural Development, and the Young Men's Christian Association, YMCA. There's more in this report.
The focus of the program is to provide business development support, facilitate engagement with 100 young entrepreneurs towards mitigating the challenges posed by COVID-19 and to promote recovery and resilience of youth-led businesses beyond the pandemic. Ethel Boatin is the Ghana coordinator for the Youth Forward Leadership Partnership.
The call, we got 300, and I still receive applications from young people who are in dire need of the technical support. So for now, we want to start with 100 and see how it goes, because this is the first time that we are doing a virtual training too for young people. We are hopeful that it will go well, but we also want to use it as a way to test how the whole setup works and to learn from it.
Given that over 80% of the 600,000 registered enterprises in Ghana are SMEs, several assessments made by leaders of business associations have classified the impact of COVID-19 on the enterprises as very severe. Executive Director of the Africa Aurora Business Network, Maureen Odoi, spoke to Joy Business.
They ask for access to market because most of them may have lost their customers, and then they also ask for actual financial support. And the financial support, there are two. There's the actual cash for working capital or for buying equipment, and then there's the financial management knowledge, because they've lost their money. So how do we now get a little money and start growing it, or even sustain the little that we have? So that is what formed the base of the program.
With the just launched Business Solutions for Young Entrepreneurs Business Recovery and Resilience Support, business innovators can meet experts in business, industry and academia, build valuable collaborations with business development experts, partners, fellow innovators, and have access to business development training, tools and insights, thus gain fresh ideas and practices to recover their businesses and build resilience, taking it to the next level post-COVID-19.
Meanwhile, cosmetologist Shika Kamara has been telling Joy Business how her business almost collapsed as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. According to her, the cosmetology industry in Ghana is one of the hardest hit as the pandemic rendered the sector almost moribund. There's more in this report put together by Emma Davis.
George St. Pierre once said, if you look good, you feel good. And if you feel good, you do good. Looks are important. But have you for once thought about how much you put in your looks? I guess not. Records show that fashion and makeup combined in 2018 amounted to $1.2 trillion.
However, the advent of the novel coronavirus brought a new normal, and the beauty industry is no exception.
And so during the COVID, trust me, there was no business. And most salons have had to close down afterwards. Because there's no business, but you have to pay rent. Okay? And right after the lockdown, the ban was lifted too. People were scared. So 2-3 months in, you see that only 20% of the people that you're used to seeing are coming. COVID has really impacted the business. While you were staying home, I'm sure you started learning how to do things for yourself, right? Exactly. And so people started learning how to. And so I think that is also a new business idea, how to package things for people at home.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Kamara indicated that COVID-19 is not the only factor which has affected the industry. According to her, social media and YouTube have also contributed to the low patronage of services as people are adopting the do-it-yourself strategy.
If I sit here and I say it hasn't affected my business, I'll be telling a tall tale. It has affected business in the sense that people are bolder to try things out by themselves at home, do the DIY at home. So on the basics, to learn just on the surface, then people are doing things at home by themselves. But when you do have like a special occasion or you want something to be done for you that will last longer, it's best that you come to a professional to have the job done, taking in mind your safety, taking in mind the professionalism, the way the thing will be done for you, how it will look on you as well in the finishing. But I say people are watching YouTube and starting beauty businesses. People are watching YouTube and starting beauty colleges out of YouTube.
You mentioned earlier, you said you made the statement, beauty doesn't mean break your bank. That's a very interesting quote. I think we should attribute it to beauty doesn't mean break your bank.
Yeah, you don't have to break your bank to be beautiful, especially when the goal is not to change who you are, but rather to enhance your natural beauty.
My name is Emma Davis, reporter for Joy Business.
Now, many automobile companies have felt the negative impact of COVID-19, and Hyundai Ghana is not left out. According to the company, it has lost revenue since the outbreak of the pandemic. Speaking with Joy Business, the showroom manager of Hyundai Ghana, Regina Adams, says even though business has started picking up, she is optimistic of a significant improvement next year. Nicholas Ekoyamo has more.
The COVID-19 pandemic has had a swift and severe impact on the global integrated automotive industry. The fall in sales in the industry has been primarily driven by the economic impact of coronavirus. Many automobile companies have had a pinch of the effects of the pandemic, and Hyundai Ghana is no exception. Speaking to Joy Business, showroom manager of Hyundai Ghana, Regina Adams, says her outfit has recorded a dip in sales.
It has really affected our sales drastically. We did much better last year, but this year, COVID came in, I think just 3 months into the year. It really affected our sales. During the lockdown, we had customers calling us, they needed vehicles, a few of them. We had pending businesses to complete, but we had to lock down, so we had to put all those things on hold. So our business really went down. Looking at how many vehicles we were selling a month, it went down like 50%.
Regina Adams says after the lifting of the restrictions, business is gradually picking up.
Even after the lockdown, we came back. It was still not easy getting people to walk into the showroom because people were staying at home trying to keep safe. Yes, that is how much it affected us. But I think last month and this month, by God's grace, has been good.
It's increasing gradually, and we know by December things will get better.
Many automobile companies had to close down or suspend operations due to COVID-19, but are picking up after most countries started lifting restrictions. Nicholas Ekoyamo's report for JoyNews.
There's more support for the multimedia group's Up to Us campaign as the Ghana Association of Bankers has donated 100,000 CDs for persons displaced by floods in northern Ghana. Nicholas Brown has more on this report.
In presenting the donation, Chief Executive Officer John Ewa urged the general public, organizations and other corporate institutions to emulate the Ghana Association of Bankers and their members to support the multimedia project, which will ultimately bring relief and put smiles on the many displaced people.
On behalf of the Ghana Bankers Association and all our member institutions, I stand here to present a check for 100,000 Ghana cedis to the Northern Flood Disaster Fund. We would like to use this forum to thank Joy FM for leading this effort, and we believe that with banks coming to the table, our customers and all our trading partners will also stand up and be counted. Thank you very much.
Host of the Super Morning Show, Kojo Yankson, also commended the Ghana Association of Bankers and its members for this unflinching support, saying the existence of the multimedia brand is to influence and touch lives of the people around, adding that this donation will make a huge difference.
Even though there is a responsibility on our state to come to the aid of these people, we have unique constraints that delay some of this aid. And if we don't stand in the gap, more lives will be lost and the devastation will be, impossible to quantify. So it is a huge relief, not just to us here, but to the people who are waiting patiently for someone to come to their aid, that an organization like yours has taken an interest. Banks have been part of this solution from the beginning. You mentioned EcoBank having partnered us to start off this campaign. It is so welcome to see the entire association also coming in with some support. I just want to assure you that this support will make a huge difference.
Chief Operating Officer Multimedia Group Ken Ansa assured the association that the Multimedia Group will be circumspect in its reportage, especially the banking sector, to help restore investor confidence in the banking industry.
We take it very seriously. It is something we work at every day. Unfortunately, once in a while we will experience a slip here or there, but that should even never be an excuse. We should always push to the highest professional standards, and we commit to doing that. And we can assure you that for the banking sector and all sectors for that matter, we will continue to work very hard to promote these spaces. But importantly, it's also to engage the right people who have the right information and can help us carry the right message to our audience.
Nicholas Brown reporting for Joy Business.
And that'll be all for Business Live for this evening. I'm Israel Lai. Thank you very much for watching. Make a day, same time.